Hey Slayers, what's up? It is your girl Tiana, aka the SwagSlayer, over at SwagSlayer.com on the SwagSlayer Feature Friday YouTube live show, which happens every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, even when my computer doesn't want to work. I'm here tonight with Sarah from Sarahstylesllc. Make sure you're following her over on Instagram. As you can see, my name says test down here, which I'm about to fix because I was having technical issues earlier. Sarah,
we made
how
it.
are you today?
We made it. It's all that matters. It's the end of the week. We are here and we're here. That's about all I can say for my week. Yeah.
Yes, it's a never-ending challenge. So I have been on one other live today. Then I went to a posh party, which you were at, and then I'm on live again. I did not plan on the first live. That was spontaneous.
Yes, I saw you earlier this week or earlier today on, is it on Instagram?
Yeah, with Marte from Money Me Fashion.
Yes, I saw that and I was like, we're on later. Like, and I wanted to watch it, but I was like, I can't because I have things later and I have like, yeah, you're on it, girl.
Listen, she was on, so I went to watch her because her show's Friday morning at the same time, like at 10 a.m. and then mine's Friday night at 10 p.m. So I always try to get on to just support and hear what she's talking about. And then we kept having a conversation through chat, and she was like, "Why don't you just jump on and we can actually talk, so I don't have to read all your comments?" So I was like, "Yeah, that makes more sense." Duh. So
love it. Yeah,
jumped on with her because we're both cross-listing, which is a crazy new adventure for me. So.
Yeah, that's fun. She was on my live on Monday, but we had technical difficulties. She kept cutting out, and I could tell that she had such good information to share, and I was like, I can't hear you.
Yes, I think her internet sometimes it goes off, and so like especially on a weekday when her kids are doing school at home, like everyone's trying to jump on, and so sometimes it will cut in and out because I was on her show like months ago now, and we were having trouble. We had to reschedule it because everyone couldn't get on at the same time. But yeah, which is issues that I clearly have all the time, so I understand. I'm sweating. I hope I'm not all glowy.
Oh no, you're good. It's a good glow. You look like you're ready for the camera. I have the same issue, and when I do my lives, I schedule after the kids' school. Right. But I'm like, you guys cannot all be on your chat. Like, not every device in the house cannot be going at the same time. Pick one game or one show to watch at the same time or something.
Yes. Yeah, and I gave that rule, and there are only 2 other people in my house, and it still wasn't working. So now we have a 20-foot HDMI cord that goes from the living room all the way to the office, so I can hardwire into the laptop. So no matter what happens, they'll get kicked off before I get kicked off. So
love it. I think that's my next. Yeah, that's my next step. Our internet, to do it though, we'd have to do it like down from our bedroom across, like it would be pretty intense. And I have a Mac, and so there's not an Ethernet cable. And
yes,
I know. So I haven't quite gotten there. I just yell at my family like once a week.
It's working for now. It's working. Doing it. So I wanted to ask you, because so many people in society don't do math. But like you 100% do math all the time. I call you the math queen. I'm like, that's Sarah, the math queen. She runs math. Okay. How did you from a child, have you always just been into math?
No, it's awful. I'm with everyone. It's terrible. I mean, I guess I didn't hate it as much as other people did, but I like it now for what it can do for my business and looking at the numbers. But I got into math because I went back to school to be a teacher. And I was like, all right, if I want to get a job as a teacher, like what subject should I get a degree in? I would have loved to have been a history teacher. That's so fascinating.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But everybody wants to be a history teacher. And so they're like, you can't get jobs. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to get a degree in math. Because
nobody wants that. So yes.
Right. Yeah. And it was, I mean, B's get degrees. I was not like a stellar student. Like C's get degrees.
That's true.
Yeah. But I mean, I made it through. So I think I have to have a little bit of a love for it. I was in classes, I took like AP classes and stuff and like calculus and stuff. So it was okay. But I was never like the stellar. And I think now on my YouTube and Instagram, I totally like play it I don't know. I do get kind of excited about it.
You get very excited. We see it in your face. We see it in your eyes. You were like beaming. I'm like, check her out. She sounds like what she really likes to do. So I appreciate
it's amazing. Yeah.
I appreciate that you put it into these fun, colorful tabs. Looks like little candy, like teal and light pink. So we don't have to just look at black and white numbers. So I love you for that. Thank you.
I appreciate you saying that. I've had people tell me that I need to like tone down like some of my videos and like the personality. And I'm like, do you know how lame my content would be if I didn't like smile and have pink hair? Like no one would watch that.
Right. I mean, someone would, but they wouldn't be a reseller probably because we're all over the place. And you kind of have to be a reseller because we don't sell just one thing. So we're not like creative to have all these one-off items. Like, yeah, we like your personality. It fits what we do and the info you're giving us. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You have no idea. I learned about your course today. So I just have to talk my husband into letting me spend money and I'll be there. So
it's 50. Everything's 50% off this month. So now,
yeah, I haven't told him yet, but he probably just heard because I make him watch the live. So I have a number count on my screen. So if there's ever just one, it's my husband.
Oh yes. My husband was like, I've gotten to the point now that he's like, Sarah, there's people watching. I don't have to come anymore, right? And I was like, I never made him come, but he likes to support, and he changed his YouTube name to Mr. Styles because everyone like. So cute. Well, he was in the chat and he really likes anime. And so he had like a dorky anime name, but he would say stuff in the chat and I couldn't pronounce his anime name. And then people would be like, who is this person in your, and I was like, well, that's actually my husband. I just don't know how to say his name.
Yes. And so it is easier if you're Mr. Styles because everybody knows, oh my God, that's Sarah's husband. So yeah, that sounds like something my husband would do because we made him another account so he could be an admin. And so it's just like a basic name. I think it's like Insight or something. He's not an admin tonight because before all of y'all saw, I had to switch computers real quick and that's why we're late. So I'm on his computer. So I don't know who's the administrator tonight now that I'm thinking about it. So I don't know.
You may need to make a couple mods. I learned that. But it took me, my husband kept asking me to do it. And I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Thank God for Leslie because she literally walked me through it before my first live, like 10 minutes before my first live. So she's an admin, but we have another friend who has a live tonight. And so I started watching hers. It started at 9:30 and then mine started at 10. So I think they're also over there. And that's the only reason I think I don't have a mod because they're still on hers. But when they come off of hers, I'll have like 3 or 4. But yeah,
it is a busy weekend. Like there's a lot of lives, but then there's also all the posh parties.
Yes.
And I've committed myself. I hope that I don't miss one. But there's so many. And then there's ones like I want to go to Leslie's and Violet and Rosalind have one, but I think they're at like competing times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tried to just sign up for ones with people I didn't know yet. And so there was another one tonight. So we went to the A and B consignment one with Ashley, but there was another one tonight that only had a 30-minute lap. Like, so it was supposed to start, I think, at 9:30. So I was just gonna, when I'm finished, jump in late. But then they sent us a message that they thought Vanessa was in labor. Now I don't know who Vanessa is because I tried to go to ones where I didn't know anybody. So someone might be having a baby right now.
Congratulations, Vanessa.
Right. Congratulations. So we'll just hear about it later. So it was canceled, but it was a good cancel reason. So I'll take it. A different birthday is happening right now.
So, right. The original birthday.
Right. So, and it'll be a great birth story. It's like we were going to host a Poshmark birthday, but instead we had a baby birthday. Here you go. So
love it. Well, congratulations, Vanessa.
Yes. Hopefully I'll get an IG name for that. And then I'll tag it in the description so we'll know who is having the baby. So I just have to figure that out later, but I don't want to bother anybody right now, labor. Whew, I did that once and that was enough for me. So.
Oh yeah, I did it twice and I'm like, I'm good. I would have like lots more children if I didn't actually have to birth them.
Me too.
And carry them.
I'd have 4 total, 4 kids. And I would want them all to be girls if I didn't have to give birth to them. Yes.
Oh, my story just cut you off. Hold on, say that again.
I said I would have.
I hear you. Our technical difficulties. Let me see. All right, say that again. You had 4 kids? I saw a 4.
Yes, I said I would have 4 girls if I didn't have to give birth to them. But the
Yes.
birthing part is the challenge that I don't want to go through again. It was rough. It was very rough. But I have one whole cool kid, and that's fine.
And the carrying them. I'm not like, I mean, I guess some women enjoy it and they glow. I am surprised my husband is still married to me because it was awful. Especially the first time, because he was like, what is wrong? At least by the second time, he's like, okay, cool, you're pregnant. You know, you're bitch. Like, it's 9 months and we're good to go. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I shouldn't cuss on your channel.
I don't think we heard you. You know, YouTube didn't hear you. Whatever. My thing is, I cheated. I wasn't even pregnant the entire time. I was pregnant for exactly 23 weeks, and she came super early. And really, I thought I was going to die at 23 weeks. And so I couldn't imagine what 9 months feels like. So, whew.
Yeah, but I don't know. At 23 weeks, there's all kinds of other things that you have.
There are. And we're really blessed because, like, you don't have lungs at 23 weeks.
Yeah.
I was in school at the time. So my last class of the semester ended at 10 p.m. that night. She was so still all day, but I had to turn in my exam or you don't pass. You got to retake the class. Yeah. So I was like, okay, when I get out of class at 10:30, we're going to go to the emergency room. I went home, ate a snack, procrastinated. My sister was like, come on, let's go. It's late. So we get to the hospital and everybody literally dropped everything they were doing. Every nurse that saw me was like, you need to sit down. We need to get you in the back room. And I was like, what? I'm fine. They were like, you were not fine. And I was like, okay. So they wheeled me back. They put shots in my legs, all kind of stuff. It was crazy. And I felt fine, but I had preeclampsia and I was really swollen, but that was the first time I was pregnant. They were like, you're about to explode, ma'am. I was like, I don't know. Like I didn't have a headache or nothing. And they told me that, like, literally, if you did not come in tonight and you would have waited over the weekend, you and your baby probably would have died because my blood pressure was so high and I had no idea. So it was crazy ride.
No, I could see why you don't want to do that again. It's scary.
It was so weird. It was so weird. And she's fine. Like if you saw her now, she's 11. You would have no idea that she was a preemie. But when she was born, she fit in the palm of my hand. She was completely transparent. You could see all of her organs, which is the strangest thing. Okay. Like her little heart beating. It was like looking inside of a clear kid. It was very weird. It was very weird.
It's amazing now what they have to be able to get at that stage. Like, I mean, it's amazing the technology that they have now to be able to make it.
It's true. If she was born 10 years before when she was born, she probably wouldn't have made it. And 10 years doesn't sound like a lot of time. Like, yeah. So
yeah, for sure.
Definitely appreciate her.
There was a question in the chat, and I know how hard it is to manage the two, so I don't want to stop.
Yes.
But I know when I'm in the middle of a live, I like don't pay attention.
Oh my gosh, there's so many comments. Okay, let me go back to the top. Okay, so someone said they didn't let their husband watch, but I'm going to get to that one in a second. So I'm at the top where everyone said, what's up? Penny, Ginger, what's up, Michelle? Okay. Oh, look, see, here's my friend. I was watching her live earlier. She had some really cute stuff. She had this awesome plum sweater. I forgot where she said it was from, but like I want to buy it. So I got to go back to her closet later.
Yes, I love Margaret. She's been on my lives before too. She has little kids at home remote learning right now. So my heart goes to her too.
Yes, that is a challenge because even though mine is in 5th grade, I'm like still having, to help. So if they're even smaller, there's so much more help needed.
Yeah, I have a 3 and a 5-year-old at home. So, and a 15-year-old, but he's special. Yes. So he needs lots of help.
But you're so lucky that you have multiple children because mine is our only child and I'm her best friend because especially now that she's home, I'm recess, I'm Nicole, I'm everything. And I'm like, girl, I'm trying to run a business to feed you. And I'm tired, but you do it because they're only going to be kids so long.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like I have to tell myself that probably 50 times a day. Like, enjoy them screaming at you. Enjoy them asking to wipe their butt when they're poop on the walls. I'm going to miss it. I promise.
You will. You really will. It doesn't feel like it now, but you will. You totally will. So they're all telling you to be yourself because clearly these comments came earlier when we were talking about you being fabulous. So, and then, okay. So she was like, yes, she doesn't let her husband watch. Why? Okay. You got to tell me why you don't let your husband watch because like my husband needs to be my #1 fan all day, every day. Okay. I'm just saying.
I know.
It's so nervous.
Oh, there's Vandy. Hey, Vandy. What was I gonna say before she came on? Oh, it's so cute too, because like my husband watches so much of my stuff, so then like other resellers start coming up on his feed, and he's like, "Ooh, do you know this person? Like, who is this?"
Right. Because YouTube is like, oh, you're watching Sarah. She resells. Let me suggest more people.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, yeah, he should be listening in secretly or publicly.
I know, and the YouTube is so hard in the beginning. Like,
it is.
Beg, barter, and plead for whoever you can get on your channel, like, to watch you.
Yeah, because first of all, okay, so we all know we need 1,000 followers and 4,000 hours of watch time to be monetized, to hopefully make $50 a month, you know, whatever. And when you do the math on 4,000 hours, you're like, oh, 4,000 hours, that's a lot, but it's not a lot. But they do your analytics by minutes. That's 2,000. Was it 240,000 minutes? I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of minutes. When I got my first 400 minutes, I was like, yes, 400 minutes. And then when I realized it was a drop in the bucket, I was like, ooh.
But it does, once you do it more, it accumulates faster, right? Because like the old videos that you did are still gaining time.
Yes.
And once you get bigger, it does, I mean, it does get better.
It does. I have no complaints because I could be on here for hours talking to you guys, and then even just me talking without a guest, I could be on here for hours. So at the end of the day, at some point, what I'm really hoping is that I'm getting people to relax at the end of the day, you know, just, you know, shake everything off and just have a good time. And then all my pre-recorded videos that I really don't like doing, hopefully they're giving like good information to help build your business. I just don't like to edit them, so I don't like to pre-record.
Yeah.
But I think this is the question.
I just stopped editing. But I'll get to this question in a second, but I've slowly edited less and less because as I've done it longer, I've gotten better at like just not fumbling through and having to cut things out.
Sure.
But my latest video, my top video, like in the past couple of months, my video that's doing the best is a video that I edited, and then it was probably late at night and I accidentally uploaded the raw version. So it was quiet for 10 minutes, and then I do my intro, and then I'm like doing this and raw. Yeah. But it's gotten my best view so far. So I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't be spending that much time editing. So I'm I do it a little bit, but not so much.
You look like a natural human in that video. Like you didn't look robotic. You look like, oh, this is what I do when I'm trying to do something too. So it was relatable.
Yeah. But it also, and I've had some YouTubers tell me this, if you make mistakes in your videos, it will help because people like to call you out, and then you get a lot of comments on it. And then it helps the algorithm, right? So if you're trying to get, you know, those views, like make a ridiculous mistake that people are going to be like, okay, like no, wrong. I got a couple of comments that were like, you know, you didn't edit out. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it was too late. So, okay. So does the course show how to set up the spreadsheet you use? It does not, but the spreadsheet comes with a how to set up the dashboard. So I have 3 dashboards, and they each come with a how-to tutorial video. Access to you as long as, you know, it's yours forever, and you can watch it as many times as you want and go through step by step with it. The course is to learn data analytics, not specific to the dashboard. If that makes sense. Having the dashboard will help with the course, but you don't have to have, like, they're not exclusive. You don't have to have mutually exclusive. You don't have to have one to do the other, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. And I would say definitely get the dashboard. The dashboard helped me out so much because I was handwriting my stuff, which is fine, but it didn't make sense to me. And then when I uploaded my inventory report and my sales report into the dashboard, I was like, oh, because like the pretty charts, like I was like, ooh, this looks nice. This makes sense. Okay. And my husband loves like logic. If I'm like, oh, babe, I'm going to buy this, like I need a whole dissertation on why I'm about to buy it. So he loves your dashboards.
Oh God, I could help. My husband actually builds dashboards, not like mine, but builds financial dashboards for a living.
Oh wow.
And so our conversations, I feel like I might do a YouTube video of just like one of our casual like evening conversations. Like it's really in depth into like all of the analytics and did you think about this and what about that? And
yeah, I believe it.
All the numbers. Yeah.
And thank goodness, like you and your husband connect on that level. Because could you imagine if you and your spouse didn't connect? You would be me and my husband because he connects up here like that. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. That don't make no sense.
Oh, but there's plenty of things we don't connect on. Like lots. He's very into like video games and comic book, like all the dorky things. And I'm
So is my husband, which is so funny. When you said anime, like I was secretly laughing right back here in my brain because I knew as a mother there would be something my daughter, who's a lot like me, would do that I wouldn't like. And I prepared myself mentally since she was a child. One day she's going to want to wear some clothes that you don't really like, but you're going to buy them because you love her. Never in a million years did I think she would like anime. I cannot stand anime. I can't. The way they move their mouth drives me crazy. But she loves it. Naruto. I'm probably saying it wrong.
No, he does that one too. Yeah.
Loves it. Like they will sit for hours and watch it. She wants posters for her room. She wanted that to be the theme for her birthday party. And I told my husband, I don't want to come to the party I planned. But that's her thing. And so, hey, that's the one thing that she likes that I just couldn't prepare for. But it's because my husband, it's his fault.
Oh, my daughter is 6 and she's already like all on that stuff with my husband.
Wow.
To the point that she will be telling me things and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They're not even English words. Like I've never heard that word in my life. What does that mean? And then she'll go into a whole explanation. I'm like, why did I ask? I should have just said, yes, that sounds great. Awesome, babe. And went on about my life. So 2-3 shows ago, I was on, and my Feature Friday, she didn't come on before. Like she has a 1-year-old and she lost track of time. And so I was messaging her, we were messaging back and forth, and then she just disappeared. So I came on anyway, no matter what. And I was talking, and I talked for 3.5 minutes, Sarah, on mute, like literal mute, where they could see on the screen that I was on mute.
And no one said anything?
Oh no, they kept typing. You're on mute. They were blowing up my cell phone on IG to tell me I was on mute, but I was ignoring it because I was on live.
Yeah,
my
like,
daughter came in.
I'm on my
Right. Like, why are y'all blowing me up? My daughter came in and looked at me, and I kind of waved her away, so she left. I'm still on mute. And she finally comes back and was like, Mom, you were on mute. Oh my God.
It's so fun doing live shows.
Yes. So she said she was on mute longer tonight. So she did the same thing that I did, which was so funny because she was on that night and she typed in the thing. She was like, okay, so who's going to read her lips? Because so we're all learning. You know, I tell everybody, some of us look like we have it together. Like some people think I have it together and I don't. I 100% don't have any of this together. I try to post the positive stuff and the stuff I'm screwing up on social media. So you guys realize it's not all cakes and cookies, but it is all dessert at some point. You know, I might have dropped it on the floor, but
I like that. It's not all cake and cookies, but it's all dessert. I like that.
Yes.
That's good.
Right.
No, it's hard. I try and be as transparent as possible, but what's hard is social media doesn't really like it so much. Like I don't love package posts, but they get the most views and so I usually will like post it with like something of substance with it. But I don't, and like posting, I mean, I guess you get the catfish one, like where you do like really bad posts. You're like, oh my God, my life's on fire. You might get stuff, but like all the stuff in between, it's hard because then it doesn't get views and then people
doesn't
see it.
And if like your immediate people aren't liking it, then it doesn't get pushed to the next place. But I'm the opposite. I love the package view pictures. I never really read what's underneath them. I just scroll through and like them because then it encourages me like, okay, if they're making sales, I can make sales too. You know, so I see it as like a positive because if I'm like, man, I'm having a slow week, what's going on? Like, what do I need to change up? And then I see other people making sales. I was like, okay, I just need to go back to my checklist and go through it again and make sure I'm doing it right because if sales are being made, I can make some too. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I like that. I don't want to make people feel bad. And I feel like if I post like a good sales day for me, like it might make someone feel bad. And I don't want to do that. But I never thought about it being a motivator for people too, right?
It so is. I saw one the other day. I don't know who it is. And I really don't think I follow them. I think when I went to search for someone so I could message them, it came up like on my Explorer page, I guess is what it's called. And it was a couple, the man and woman couple, and they were sitting at a fireplace, and somebody took the picture from very far away. And there were packages like in their entire living room, covered everywhere. And I just thought, oh man, I don't know what they're selling, but I need to find some replenishables. That was my thought. So
yeah, that's awesome.
And they said they filled up one USPS truck with their regular mail guy, and his truck was so full, he had to call somebody else to send another truck, and they filled that truck halfway. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get there one day.
Yes, right. And I need to know who this is so I can go follow and see what replenishables I need to be buying.
Right. I think I saved the post, so I'll post it tonight on IG if I can find it. Because I don't think I'm following them. They just came up on the Explorer page, but I was like, man, this is amazing. And they had like their own poly mailers. They were like these cute little poly mailers and everything. I was like, I need to sell eyelashes or something tiny that I can send out like hundreds of, I don't know. So let's see.
I love that you went to eyelashes. That was the first thing that you're like, what's tiny eyelashes?
Eyelashes. Because they throw them out and they need more. So I'm like, hey, I could keep sending.
Yeah.
Yes.
A subscription to them, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I wish I could figure out how to charge monthly on my Shopify. Like, I don't know how to do that. And once I do, I think I'm going to have a subscription box, but you know, that's probably months from right now.
I use WordPress, and I know you can do it on WordPress, but I don't know Shopify.
Yeah, I only use Shopify because I can cross list from List Perfectly. Well, let me take that back. I had Shopify before List Perfectly, but I like that I can use it to cross list on there. So, okay, it said they made it even easier now to rec people. I noticed while in the live, which I love. I'm confused. Wait, easier now.
Oh, she's saying for the mod, because we're going back to like 30 minutes ago.
That's true. Okay, it was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, she's saying for the mod. The thing that I struggled with is because we do it through StreamYard, you have to do it on YouTube. So like I kept trying to do it when I was in a StreamYard, and I was like, it's not showing me anything. So I had to like go into YouTube when I was live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad you knew what was happening, because I was like, what?
But I'll say I think I've had one person that I had to like boot, and I do a live every single week. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not cool enough to get trolls. Well, I don't think there's
one day you will be. So appreciate right now while you have zero trolls, because one day the trolls are going to be waiting, already commenting 10 minutes before you're live. So
all right.
I've been on other people's lives that had that, and I was like, geez, guys, the thing hasn't even started yet.
Well, but then I'll know I made it. Like my first thumbs down, I was so excited about, because I was like, someone cared enough to be mean to me. Like, you have to get to a certain level to get a thumbs down.
That is true. That is true. Because right now, all I have is thumbs up, because all my actual friends are watching.
Right.
So yes, you're one step closer, Sarah. I love it. I love it. What is Maurice? Okay, so then they have side conversations, which sometimes throws me off. And if you don't know Sarah, I need glasses, but we're not going to talk about that. So if you see me squinting, it's because I can't see.
Well, I can try and help you too. It's hard to do the live and pay attention to the comments. I struggle with it as well.
How do you see that? Can you see them on your side?
Mm-hmm. I can comment on them because I have a private chat, and then I have like a comments tab.
What?
So I can see them, but I can't
every day.
It took me probably like 20 of these until I realized that, and someone told me that. I was like, what do you like? I think this exact same conversation.
Right.
What are you doing?
Like, oh, you can see that? Like, I know it's a private one. I knew that for sure, but I didn't know, because I went on somebody else's and you
have to click over to it.
I think I was on a mobile device.
Oh,
but I was on someone else's, and so I couldn't see it. Got it. That makes sense. That makes sense. So they're commenting about, okay, pregnancy hormones, because we were talking about me and my baby. And saying it worked out, and then that had to be scary. So yes, it was, but I appreciate my child so much more because the experience was terrifying.
Yeah.
So yes. Oh, Penny. I love Penny. She says she never wanted to push a watermelon out of a garden hose. Yes, That is a perfect visual. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. I'm so glad I had a C-section, so I didn't have to do that.
It's
Yeah.
not great.
It's not.
No.
26 hours, girlfriend. You did it. You did it. Congratulations to you. Motherhood is so beautiful. Like, you just don't understand until you are a mother what that's really like. Like, I can respect you for raising a child, like, have all kind of respect, but a total understanding of what it is to carry a child, birth a child, raise a child, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
Oh yeah, and now until I had kids, like, I want to go back to pre-kid me and apologize to all the people that I was,
Yes.
because you don't know, right? You're like, well, just, do this. And it's like, it's not that easy. Like, I am just trying to not murder them by the end of the day.
Yes. And then even me, who was like judgmental, like, why is your child laying on the floor in the grocery store? Get your kid. And it's not that you want your child to be laying on the floor in the grocery store. It's you're exhausted. You're holding another small child and you just can't bend over and pick that one up. So.
Yeah. Or they have, because my oldest is special needs, and it never clicked to me that it could also just be a child who like legitimately cannot do certain things, right?
Yes.
Like they have, and it just never clicked to me now. And I'm like, yeah, they probably have some special needs and they're seeing all of these lights or all of this noise, and it's just completely traumatizing them.
Yeah. And until you've been in that environment or been around someone who has a child and you're like, oh, none of those things like hit your radar. It's just like, you don't know what you don't know. So you can't, fix that around in your brain to say, oh, this is what's happening. Or, oh, maybe this, like, because you don't even know you don't know it. So
and you can't, and I don't even think that you can fully understand it until you go through it. Because my first child, I was like, why didn't anyone tell me? And my mom was like, we did tell you. Yeah, but you didn't like really tell me. And they're like, no, but we did. Yeah. But you don't like fully understand it until you're like in the trenches and you're like, oh, so when you meant no sleep, you meant like for 6 years.
Yes. And they said that to you. You will not sleep again once you have a child, and you were just like, whatever. You sleep at some point. Right. It's a whole brain change. It really, the way your brain forms after, that's why you have all these extra hormones. Like it has to form your brain into this new thing so you can do it. So Michelle was saying, I went into labor with my first one at 6 months. They had to stop my labor on 3 different occasions. Wow. And I was put on bed rest for 3 months. Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. 3 months not being able to get out of the bed. Like, I don't know what that would feel like. And then to be not that you just can't get up. Because I think if someone made me stay in the bed for 3 months, I'd be irritated. But I think it's the fact that knowing that you can't get up and now you're also concerned about the little life inside of you. Yeah, and you're like, great, are they going to be okay? I think that's the big worry. Like you want that little life you carry to be perfect. That's what and so many times they show us perfect instead of saying, hey, guess what? We don't want to freak you out, but sometime before you get pregnant, be aware that these things could happen. So if they happen to you, you're like, oh, I remember learning about that. Oh, yeah, I remember hearing this could happen, but it can also be okay. It's just a surprise of it all. It's like, what?
Yeah. Well, and like movies of labor and birth, I mean, get out of here. Like every woman, it's like 98% of women in movies that give birth, their water breaks.
Right.
1%. Like, so I was terrified, like, oh my God, I can't go anywhere. My water's going to break.
Right.
Like, no, that's not going to happen.
Right. Because they usually break
like, you're going to go into labor and then you're going to have the baby in the taxi. It's like, no, I was in labor for 3 days. Like, I could have made it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, why isn't someone telling me this beforehand? And they do tell you to pack a baby bag and stuff, and you might go to Lamaze, but again, our brain just isn't capable of comprehending that just yet. And so we hear it.
I think if we knew all of that before the hormones, we'd be like there would be no more humankind. But if I legitimately knew all of that, I'd be like, no, I'm good.
Never mind. Yeah. And that's true. I mean, now that you're saying that, yeah, because I had one and I was like, never again. So yes, you're right.
Yeah, but sometimes there's something in the hormones too that makes you believe you're at first you're like, okay, that was terrible. And then like 6 months in, when the baby's not a baby anymore, you're like, well, Oh,
Wasn't
what
that
is
bad.
that bad?
Yes.
And then the second time, you're like, yes, it was.
It was terrible. And yeah, I think too, it's like when you get a shot, you remember it hurt, but you don't remember how bad it hurt at the moment you were getting the shot. So yeah, that is a true statement for sure, for sure. Okay, let me scroll through here because we are totally backed up on comments. My bad, guys.
I think we're good. I think it's just like side comments and people saying hi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually say yeah. Okay.
So 200 minutes. Yeah, you were thinking that was amazing. Yes, me too. Until I realized how many minutes are actually an hour times 4,000.
Yeah, but right. You're smart because these lives are an hour. I started when I was finally getting close to that 4,000, I was like, all right, I'm going to do lives because it's an hour. Even if you only watch half of it, that's still good.
Yes. And then they're interactive. So you're not just, talking to yourself and then thinking, like we were saying earlier, do I cut this part of the video out? Did I?
Yeah, no editing.
So that helps. So Terry says she loves your hair.
Oh, thanks. I finally did it.
So. It's so cute. I was thinking at the party, I was like, how did she get it to stay up like that? I'm like, what? She sprayed it with something and doing some fancy work.
I think it has to be like that now. I've had it for so long. It's like, here we go. I get out of the shower.
It doesn't grow down. It just grows up. Yes. I love it though. And I love that it's pink. Like my little emoji, has the purple hair, but I just can't commit to keeping up with the maintenance. I'm so low maintenance and I'm like, I can't keep it that color. So it's just like, never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay. You are killing me, girl. So you need to get your stuff together. Okay. So you've had the dashboard for months now, but you're not using it. That's okay. She has a course now too. And then I was thinking, Sarah, you need to give us a challenge. First of all, I'm in the Facebook group. Let's just talk about how I don't know how to use Facebook. So I'm never there at the group. I sent a request. You accepted it. I never used it. So.
And I think, and I've been trying when I have more time and my kids are back in school. I have been thinking about that because Facebook is so
changing every day.
Yeah. Well, and no one goes there anymore. And it's not like what it used to be, but you can do a group there. You can't really do a group anywhere else. And so I don't want, I give tips on my Instagram and I give, my YouTube, but I want something if you want private conversations or support from each other. So I'm trying to think of a way.
I think you should do a challenge there. And that would help.
Well, so part of the problem is because I've asked people, I used to do challenges, right? And I used to gather people's data and do analysis on them and stuff, but I'd get 6 people because no one goes to Facebook. Everyone's like, this is a great idea, but they're like you, where they're like, oh yeah, cool. I just bought this. Let me join. And then I never go back because I don't get on Facebook. So I think I have lots of ideas because I want to make it supportive, people who are looking at their data to support each other and I have all kinds of analysis I want to do, but I need to find a way. It's going to have to be outside of Facebook, I think.
Yeah. And that's not your fault that Facebook is that's not your fault because I love my dashboard. Sometimes I just don't know how to, I guess what I'm saying is when other people, we do the challenges, I'm going to list 20 today. I'm like, oh, you're listing 20. I'm going to list 21. Let's do it. So I need something like that for my dashboard because it's literally me and my husband looking at my same data. I can only look at it so many times. He could stare at it all day. Yeah. So I'm like, I want to talk to somebody else about this data, but I don't know who to talk to. And like I said, I'm just bad at using Facebook. It all comes up on my feed. And then I'm like, well, how do I get in here and ask a question? That's still not your fault. I don't know how to use it.
No, but it is my fault because it's not easily accessible. And I think once my kids are back in school, but maybe making some kind of even an interactive, a weekly chat, right? And then we can come up and because I'm with you. Fortunately, my husband will talk with me about my numbers too, but I always love having conversations with other resellers as well, and I'd like to provide that support. I just need to figure out the best way to do it. And my time.
Yes.
I'm not a homeschooling teacher of 3 kids.
Right. Because right now you're the principal, the teacher, the gym coach, the music person, the lunch lady. We're all exhausted. We understand. So Ginger was saying she's very interested in the dashboard in the course. I have a number I am a numbers person. I'm always looking at my stats. I have to see what items are most profitable for me to spend my time on. So yeah, I think Sarah's dashboard will definitely help with that. It definitely gives charts, pie graphs, all that fun stuff. And it tells you like your style, your size, your brand, anything else, you know, Sarah, they're your dashboards.
Yes, all the things. Sorry, I was just putting a link.
Yeah.
Oh, but it won't let me because I'm not a moderator. Okay, I was
yeah.
just
okay. Go to the link in my bio, guys, on IG. So I have Sarah Styles dashboard in my thing. As y'all know, I don't promote a lot of stuff until I've used it for a while. So I didn't even start on her. Like she has an affiliate program, but I didn't start using it until I think last October, the end of October, because I wanted to use it for a few months to make sure I understood it and I really believed in it before I put it in my link. So it's there. It's easy to get to. It's somewhere in my milkshake, but just scroll until you see it says Sarah Styles data reports, and then you can click there, and then everything is half off on her website. Is that what I not should be calling it?
No, you're fine. You said somewhere in my milkshake, and so I thought you were like saying something about like my milkshake, and I was like, oh no, she's talking about like the link. Yeah, so I just had like a little conversation in my head.
Yes.
So the dashboards, I have 3 dashboards. 2 are for Poshmark specific. 1 is for all platforms that you sell on. But if you do the one for all platforms, you have to track and manage your own data because it's not just one report. Like if you're just on Poshmark, you know, there could be up to 25 platforms. But yes, it will show you. So the sales one shows you like breakouts of your bundles and your offer to likes, your sales by day. It actually tells you like how much you sold for the month because Poshmark doesn't tell us that. It gives you a simulator, right? So you can say, hey, this is how much money I want to make. And it tells you the exact numbers that you need to do to get to that number. What else is that one? It tells you your return customers and then your by state. So that's a sales one. And then the inventory one looks at inventory. So it has like your top brands, top categories by size, subcategories by market. I think that's it.
Yeah, and that's what I can think of. I think you named them.
I think so. I'm thinking of like all the tabs. And then the sales and trends one has a combination of that. It's not going to have the Poshmark specific like offer to likes and stuff, but it has a combination of all of that for all your platforms. And then it compares platform to platform. So like, how is your eBay doing compared to your Poshmark? And then also like your sourcing spots. It looks at, you know, if you shop at thrift stores in the bins, which one is performing better for you? And if like I just started doing palettes, how is that actually doing for me? Am I making money at it? Right.
Yes. And just disclaimer, guys, the link in my bio is the Poshmark one, but it's the combination where it's the sales and inventory. If you need the other one, like you can still click the link in my bio, but then just click the banner at the top and it'll just take you directly to the website. And that way you can scan through all of the options so you can pick the right one for you. So I want to make sure y'all knew that. So when you got there, you're like, what? I don't see the other ones there. Just click on the banner. It'll show you everything.
Oh, yeah. And then also, if you buy any purchase, the fundamentals course is free. Just use the code BOGO. And everything for the month of December is 50% off. I want to help people like get ready to go. 2021 will be our year.
Yes, it will. And like we've learned so much in 2020, like some crazy stuff happened, but let me just let you know, I thought of new ways to source that I would have never thought of if this did not happen. I thought of ways to store my inventory. I've updated my organization, all of that. And if I didn't just have all this time to sit home and do it, like who knows how long that would have taken me to get it done. I'm a better person because 2020 was outrageous for no reason. So
no, and I agree. And I think I did a video. I did a video. I don't know when it's uploading. It takes me like I shoot a video and then it takes 2 weeks before I like edit it and then upload it and do a thumbnail. So I'm like, sometime I talked about this, but about how I wouldn't have been in this place in my business had 2020 not happened. I would have never even considered liquidation palettes because I was just like, you know, thrift stores were open and I was going to the thrift store and I had time because I didn't have children at home all day.
Right. And I like the palette a lot. I have not ordered a palette. I ordered like several large boxes and let me just tell you, okay, so fear is something that will stop me and anyone else from doing something. My husband was like, let's just get a palette. And I was just like, but I can't spend all that money and then can't make it because I want to pay the mortgage. And he was like, we'll figure it out. And I was just like, but you don't have a job anymore. What? Like, I just couldn't bring myself to do
Yeah, I
it.
don't know that.
Yeah, but he was all for it. He was like, let's invest in ourselves. I believe in you. I mean, because we make decent money, but I'm like, all of that going out and to then wait for it all to come back, fingers crossed it doesn't mess up. I was like, let's just order a couple big boxes and see how that goes. So we did call around and find out they'll deliver to our house. So that's nice to know.
Yeah, that's kind of how I started too. I started because I'm terrified too. I'm very risk adverse, and I'm a Libra, which means that like I weigh all my options.
Yes.
And finally, after like months, my husband was like, Sarah, just do it. Like you've done all the analysis. You've bought off of people's pallets. You've bought some of the small boxes. Like you're not going to know until you
do it.
And so I did it, and now we'll see. I mean, I've done like
video
6. Yeah. What's that?
Yeah. The video you made on YouTube, I watched that video where you were saying like you did all this stuff. You were going to other people who were getting pallets that live near you. And I was thinking, oh yeah, I need to find someone who lives near me that gets a pallet. My husband's like, no, you don't.
I just do it.
Yeah. So at some point, we're probably going to do it at the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Since we, like I said, we've gotten our organization together and things are better. I'm totally going to take this course with you because I just need to hear, like, I need to see it from the perspective of a reseller and really understand what my dashboard is showing me. Mm-hmm. And then I think I'll feel more comfortable to say, okay, I can spend X amount of money with all these zeros behind it in one transaction on something that's not a car. So
yeah, and it's scary because if it all turns out good, then you're doing great. And if it doesn't, I will say though, and I'm going to do a video on it, but the last palette that I bought, it was not great. And it was my fault. It was manifested. So I knew what was in it, but it was like all that I could get. And I was just like, we'll see. And it's not bad, but it's not like as good as the other ones have been. Yeah. But you don't really know until you do it. And even at it being bad, I'm still making some money. Yeah. I have yet to lose money. And I know you don't want to run a business like not making money, right?
Right.
But the chances of you losing, and you're smart and you know what, like, I wouldn't be a reseller who doesn't know what they're doing and just be like, let me buy $10 worth of inventory.
Right. Yes. And like we found a place that I really like, and the boxes that they sent us were, 90% of them were really great. Like the 10%, I was like, I don't know what this is. But then like sometimes they would send us more than what was supposed to be in there. So then it would make up. So I was just like, I guess this is what the palette will look like as well. It's a big leap. Like I said, I've never spent that much money at one time on anything. Like some girls, they'll buy a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 purse. That's never been me. So to spend that much money at one time, I'm like, oh, it's not going to drive me to and from somewhere. I'm confused. So
no, but even with like, I'm getting better, especially my business. My husband has to be like, Sarah, you have to spend money to make money, and like talk me through the last palette that I bought. He was like, you can do this. Like it was the most expensive one that I bought. And he was like, you can do this. We've done the math. Here's what like I needed like a pep talk. And then he came in, he was like, how's it going? I'm like, because I like bid on him. So I'm like having panic attack. Yeah, it's an interesting process. But it's turned out, I mean, it's nice to have it come to me and not have to go on.
It is. And the funny thing is at our house, we already talked about because we've been talking about it for months, and my husband's like your husband. He's like, babe, you can it's fine. But I'm the one having the panic attack. Like we don't have a garage. So we built a house with no garage on purpose. So when it comes, they're going to set it in our driveway. We're going to set up the canopy just in case it rains. Then we're going to break it all down and then bring it all in the house. So it's like a whole routine and thing we've come up with to make sure, because in Florida, it will hurricane rain for 20 minutes for no reason out of the blue. So yeah, we had to put that together. So we have an entire plan. I am the one who has to pull the trigger and hit buy now or whatever. And that's it.
Just do it. I was trying to figure out, because they put it in your garage and then it takes me an entire afternoon just to get it from the garage. And like, it's not organized. I have no idea what's in it. I'm just like picking up 20 items and putting 20 items in my office. And so I was trying to figure out with my husband because my office is right off of the front of the house. And we have French doors to get into the house and French doors into my office. And I was like, so that's wide enough. Like, can't they bring it up? And he's like, well, but there's stairs and we have tiles there. Like, do you want them bringing? And I was like, I'm going to make them figure it out, because if they can get a pallet right into my office, it's like 4 hours worth of work I don't have to do.
That's true. That's true. But you don't want them to mess up those tiles, because like even at my house, we have pavers. So we don't want them to pull up on the pavers. So next to my house, it's not my piece of property, but no one uses it. There's space for them to just drop off right there. Like they don't have to pull in, but they can drop off there. That way the truck doesn't have to back onto my pavers, because I was like, the more weight goes onto my pavers, the sooner I have to repave my driveway. So like, yeah, it's all kind of things you want to think about. But I think 2021, I'll definitely do it, because I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. And then on your video I was watching, you were saying like your stuff came with sensors on it. And I was like, oh babe, now I gotta buy a sensor remover. He was like, can we just order the pallet and you order the sensor remover while it's on its way? And I was like, no, I have to have everything first.
Yeah, but you don't, I mean, there's so many different kinds of security tracks. I was that way too. And so I ordered the one that, you know, I think Denali had told me, and someone else that does liquidations, this is the one they use. So I ordered it. I was ready to go. Well, then it didn't work on the tags that I got. Because they use a different kind. So I've used it since then, but I'm just saying, like, there's other things that are going to come up.
Yes.
That a heat gun though, I would recommend getting if it comes with, a lot of them come with like clearance tags on it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Instead of like blow drying it, a heat gun would be faster.
Yes. And much
got it.
And they're only, I think I got mine for like $20. So if you're going to do a lot of them,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
And then mine, because I do the wholesale boxes at, I guess they're not wholesale boxes. I just don't like calling mystery boxes, because mystery boxes have such a stigma, but I do the reseller boxes, the SwagSlayer boxes on my website. And so I was going to pre-package a lot of the things depending on how it goes with the pallet in there, because I just literally cannot list everything I get. It's impossible. Like right now I can't list all the stuff I'm getting, and I don't even have a pallet coming to my house yet. So we'll see. And for those that may not take the clearance stickers off of, I don't know yet.
Oh yeah, which is smart, because then that's less time that you're having to spend.
Yes.
I did that with my first pallet, which I was trying to reduce my risk as much as possible. So I sold off my first pallet. And it worked out fine, but now I'm like, well, I'm keeping it all. Because it's a lot of work. If you're already, like, I don't normally do mystery boxes. So it was like a lot of promotion and doing like,
right.
But if you already have people buying your stuff, it would be.
I do. Which is so crazy, because like, everyone that I know knows that I'm on the live. So they're on the live. So like my phone and my tablet aren't going off. But then like just now I heard it go cha-ching. And I was like, what is that? Because like if you book a Feature Friday or you book a maker feature, it still makes that cha-ching noise, but I don't make any money. And I just happened to look over, and so somebody just bought a box. That's what the noise was for.
Oh, right.
Like, oh, yes.
So that lowers your risk even more too, if you're, because I don't think you'll get complete crap. It just may not be stuff that you want to list, but other people would want to do.
Well, like I said, the place that I'm using, which I'm not saying the name of because I just don't want everyone to know my honeypot, but like I said, only 10% of it's been kind of like what is this? And so I just list that stuff myself, because I already have 1,100 active listings. What's 50 or 100 more? At some point it will sell. It's a lot to share, on Poshmark, but it's good quality stuff. It's just from Target, when I ordered a designer box, and I'm like, how did I get this Target stuff when all of this is supposed to be like high-end $200 plus merchandise? But it was more items than I ordered, so it was like bonus stuff. So it hasn't bothered me. I really like the stuff I got. I'm just that price point at one time is what kills me. Yeah. Well, and it takes time too to list the stuff but everything will eventually sell. Right? It does. So Sarah, let me ask you about your dashboards. How long? Because I thought I knew, but then when we were at the Posh party and you were doing your presentation, I was like, what? How long have you had the dashboards? Like, how long have you created them and been working on them to give to resellers, or to sell, I should say, to resellers? I should know this answer. That's a great question. Probably like a year and a half. So I've only been reselling since December of 2018. Okay. So like that's a month. So really only 2 years.
but I started, so then the dashboards I released in 2019, the spring of 2019. So like a year and a half. I was using stuff for myself because
of course.
I was just like, well, I'm just going to put this in a spreadsheet and look at it. And then I talked to people and they were like, well, how do you know all of that? And I was like, well, it's just in my spreadsheet. Don't you have one? And they're like,
No.
Oh, really? And they're like, yes, you need to sell this. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yes, because we don't have the brain of the math queen. Our brains don't work like that, because even with me writing it down, I thought I was like, oh, I got this. I made a formula. Then when I got your dashboard, I was like, oh, none of the stuff I wrote down was even close to all this great information she's got on this dashboard. I was like, yes. So I'm so glad that I found that, because I think, we're out here and our community is so big that people have these golden nuggets that really change our business and really help change our lives that we don't even know about. So I'm so glad that you could come on the show tonight. I'm so glad that you're speaking at the Posh Party so other people can get to know what you have, because there's some products out there that people push and I'm just like, yeah, this is great. I could use it. But this dashboard is fabulous on so many levels. It improves my business life, which makes my personal life better, and I can pay these bills. So thank you for that. I just want to thank you again.
And it makes it easy, right? Like math is really scary. And I was very, and I hope that it comes across this way, but I was very, I wanted to make charts that you could look at quickly and that told you a story and information quickly, because most people don't want to look at the math and do the formulas, and it's scary. Like I want to make it the least amount of scary with the most results for you guys that you can make the money that you can make, right?
Yeah. And I'm glad I don't have to put it into Excel. And another thing, Slayer, is just, we didn't mention earlier, it's in Google Sheets. And the fabulous thing that I love that Sarah did, when I ran my team and I had all these people under me and I was training them because I sold insurance before, we used Google for everything, because it didn't matter if you had Android or iPhone. You could access the whole Google Suites. It works for everyone. So I'm so glad that she put it there, because it's free and you can access it on whatever device that you have. And you don't have to worry about, oh man, I have an iPhone, so I can't use it, because I'm a Droid girl. And there's so many things I can't use because I don't have an iPhone. So thank you for making it accessible to everyone, no matter what type of device they have. So they don't have to rethink, do I need a new device just to get the numbers I need to build my business?
Well, that was very important to me, because I did data analytics in corporate America. So we use Excel. Excel by far is significantly better than Google Sheets. And there was a lot of cussing involved in building it in Google Sheets. I'm like, but this is how Excel does it, and Google won't do it this way. And so I had to figure it out. And but it was very, very important to me, because I really do want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. You shouldn't have to have $100 Excel program to be able to look at your numbers, and you don't have to worry about saving it, or you're at grandma's house. I don't know why you would want to look at it at grandma's house, but if you're at grandma's house and you want to pull it up, you pull it up on her computer, right? When your computer crashes, you pull it up on the next computer you get, right?
Yep. And so that makes it magical, because you really thought about everyone in the community that could benefit from it, to make sure it's in. And even though it might have been a challenge for you to put it together, you took on that challenge to make sure we wouldn't have to do that. So we really could just see our numbers in a more comfortable way, to really, be able to understand what we've got going on. And everyone doesn't, think that far ahead when they build something. So thank you again. I know I've been thanking you all night, but I just want you to know that I really appreciate it. And if you don't hear it every day from everyone, I'm speaking for all of us. Thank you.
Well, thank you from the whole Posh community. Thank you.
Yes. So yeah, they're saying the same thing too, that it's fantastic. So I think for sure, girl, you're going to have to hit me up. Well, I will hit you up in the DM, because we're already together. And then maybe you and I could do a challenge thing, and we could look at our numbers together, since, you haven't gotten on yours too much and I use mine all the time, which I need to run December's numbers. I have not. I've been slacking, seeing as how it's a couple days after December. I need to see what my numbers look like for this month. And then I had another question, but I didn't write it down.
I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Well, so the other struggle that because you're an affiliate, you like the dashboard, and you want to do these challenges, but the struggle that I have is not everybody is comfortable sharing their numbers
right.
publicly. So like in a private Facebook group, I feel like they're more willing to do that. I've had some, challenges, but most people don't want to like share their numbers. And so I think that's where it makes it hard too. Cause I would do like, I'll do a challenge with you. But like you make your goals and I hit my goals and like we track it on the dashboard and stuff. But I don't know that everybody wants to share.
I think, just given our society as a whole, and then where we are on the, channel of ages, we were taught by people that came before us that you don't talk about your pay, you don't talk about the money you make, you don't talk about that. So like somewhere in our subconscious that is ingrained in there. And then so Nikki from Glow Girl Glow, who does like the budgeting, she was doing that and I was watching her thinking like, oh my God, is that her real paycheck? Like I was freaked out for her, but she was so comfortable doing it that I was like, well, why am I panicked? These are my numbers. She's comfortable. It shouldn't bother me. So then it made me think, well, why am I afraid to show my numbers? Because if you look back on my YouTube channel, like when I first started, I got fired and all this other fun stuff, but that's not the point. Like my YouTube was started to pay off debt. And then I realized, one, I don't know what I'm doing on Poshmark, so I'm not making enough money. Two, I actually need to pay these bills because they fired me, so I can't pay off any debt. But that was the point. I was going to show the money I was making on Poshmark to show how I could pay off debt with a side income from reselling on Poshmark. So I did start off like that. And then along the way, I don't know what happened. I became fearful of showing, even though I say, how much I make, it's vague. It's not the actual number. Mm-hmm. So I think everyone's going to have their own challenge with that. But I personally, and I already talked to my husband about it like a couple months ago. I said, would you be okay? Because we own an actual business. We're not just selling from our house. And I had to ask him because he's my partner, like, would you be okay with me actually showing the money we're making on Poshmark? Would you be uncomfortable with that? Because I want people to really see and have a realistic expectation of what money can be made, because sometimes you jump into something because everyone says, oh, I'm making all this good money. And let me just tell you, someone's definition of good money and your definition of good money is two different things based on.
Yes. And the numbers 99, I'm making this number up, but a large percentage of the numbers that you see on social media for resellers is gross.
Right.
Those are amazing numbers. I mean, you have to start somewhere, right? But you don't know what they're taking home. And it's kind of ironic that you said all that. Like, I have slowly started I show a lot of my numbers now, but even like all the way down to like my net, like how much I'm actually taking home and my expenses. I did a video and I've been stressed about it for like the past 2 weeks. I've like been thinking about how I'm going to do it in my head. I shot it. I'm working on editing it. I was just talking to my husband today. I was like, well, maybe I should redo it. Like I'm not usually this nervous about a video. I shoot it. I put it up. You like it? Cool. If not, I learn from it and I do something else. It's very scary to be that vulnerable. I've gotten over showing my gross number because that is what it is. But I have a video coming out. I think it'll probably be released in 2 weeks. And I show everything, like all of it. And I'm just like, I'm still nervous about it. But I don't know if you follow Girly Girl Styles. She shows everything. And I was watching her videos and thinking how much I was learning from actually seeing it. And I'm like, well, I can't tell people all this and not actually show the numbers. And so hopefully, and I want to help people build a business. And if you don't see all of the stuff that comes out of that top number,
then you don't understand it.
Yeah. There was months this year I didn't take an income.
Yeah. That's every month. I
bought a computer. I mean, we were talking about this. I bought a computer, but that was my profit for the month. Like,
right. Exactly. And I've been there because if you go back on my IG, like when I was starting to make like money, I was like, oh shoot. Like, I was like, oh, I'm paying my car payment. And so 1 month I paid my car payment. And then the next month I paid my car payment and my mortgage. And then like I paid my car payment more and something else. And so like I posted that. And so people are like, oh my God, you're paying your mortgage. And I'm like, yes, I wouldn't be doing this if I could, but like they were surprised. And I was thinking, well, how much money are you making? And how can I help you? And that's really and I stopped posting that because I was like, I need to figure out a way to help them be able to do what I'm doing. And I couldn't come up with anything. So I was like, let me stop saying I'm paying all this stuff if I can't give them a practical way so they can do the same thing too. So I stopped posting it because I was like, I need to think of something. And so that's when I kind of went through the whole like, well, am I just going to show them exactly what I'm doing so they can see? And then it also makes me nervous just because what if they're better at doing what I do than I am? And then I tell them and then like they're making all this money and I can't figure out how to make it.
That means you're a great teacher.
Yes, but what's the motto? They say if you can't do, you teach. I want to do.
That's
so
funny.
we'll see.
Yeah, Ginger is saying she wants a challenge too. I'm going to do something this month. You guys have inspired me. I'm going to tag you, Ginger. I don't know if that's your name on Instagram. Maybe send me a DM and I'll tag you in it as well. And I'm thinking even if you don't show your numbers, you could set your goal and say, hey, my goal is to increase my sell-through rate by this amount.
Yeah.
And whatever you feel comfortable sharing, because that's just saying like I increased it by 10%. I think most people would be okay with that.
Yeah, because a percentage is very vague and you don't have to know like exactly, what's going on. And then people judge you based on, because on Instagram, I want to say, and this may not be true, so correct me if I'm wrong, we always look like we have more than we actually have. So then when we post what we actually have, people are like, but what? I thought, like, because in their mind, they make up what they think of you. Like, you didn't say it, they've made it up. And so now when you give the baseline bottom numbers, they're like, oh, but I thought you were here, but you're really here. But here is great for me. And so I'm happy with that. But they're like, they're not. And so.
Oh, yeah, but social media, and this is the problem, like, you're going to have haters out there no matter what you do or say. And it's hard to not brush it off. But I also feel like if you put out a certain energy, you get that energy back. And I don't get, and maybe when, I have a zillion followers, but I don't really want to get that big because it seems kind of scary. It seems like there's always drama when you like get to that level, right? But you get what you put out. And I think a lot of the people, like, I don't get a lot of drama, and I get like, I've connected with Leslie, and I feel very fortunate to get like all of Leslie's kind and, amazing crew that comes with her. And just a lot of those people that are just kind and supportive. I rarely get judgment. YouTube, people feel like they can say anything.
Of course, because they're just hiding behind this icon that's not even attached to an email that they use every day. So they don't care. They don't care. But like, I tell my daughter, she's 11. They go through their adolescence, all this stuff, kids at school, whatever, when school was in. And, somebody will say this or say that. And I'm like, girl, you're always going to have haters. I'm like, it's okay. I said, if everyone likes you, if everyone is like cheering you on with what you're doing something wrong, because somebody out there should be like, I don't like her. I don't like the way she's doing it. And that's just because they want to do what you're doing. They want to be more like you. If everyone's saying yes, yes, yes to you, you need to take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing. So when you do get those haters, and this probably sounds so dumb, but we say it all the time. And I've said it before on the thing. I was like, just go ahead and take them, put them in the bowl, and eat your haters for breakfast. So that's what we do with our haters. We eat them for breakfast because they give us energy and motivation to keep going. So,
and most of the time the haters aren't even about you.
Right? It's
an insecurity that they have, or like they got in a fight with their grandma, or like, I mean, I have had a couple of people come at me and I'm just like, what just happened? And then like the next day they're like, sorry, I was having a really rough night. I just reread it and like, my bad. Like, didn't mean to do that.
And I think too, like, we're all human. We all have feelings. Like, I've seen stuff where I'm like, what are you saying? Like, and I want to like type, and I'm like, girl, just take 2 steps back. It doesn't even matter. Like, let them say what they're going to say. The time you're about to waste and this brain power you're about to waste to type up this paragraph that they don't care anything about, you can use that moment to figure out how you can tweak your business a little bit better. Spend more time with your husband. Spend more time, with your children. I mean, I only have one child. So with my child, instead of spending that energy on something that really doesn't have anything to do with that person, it's something that has to do with me. So I try to check my heart when I feel like I want to be that person, because I'm human too. So I think we're
not going to change. Like, my comment on someone I don't know on social media is probably not going to change their perspective.
No.
Like,
No,
I haven't learned that with like the whole heated election that we had. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to sway this person with my comment. I'm gonna move on.
And it's okay, because if they thought exactly like me, then nothing new would happen or get done. I need someone who doesn't think like me, who thinks that it's black when I think that it's white, because then if we can come together, we can actually create something great. If we're all thinking on the same wavelength, we're just gonna have all this dumb, boring stuff. So,
yeah, but there are like some basic human right things that yes. are the same wavelength. Like, I'll go with everything that you said, but also like there's a couple things that like people are still people and everyone should have rights. Kind of. We don't need to get like political on this. I'm just saying.
I agree. But yeah, like we should just check our own hearts and our own minds. And then when we do get the haters, just embrace them. And you don't have to, engage with them, but just use that energy that they're hoping to get you frustrated. Use it as a positive to keep moving yourself forward. So that's what I try to do with my haters. I look forward to my haters. Hopefully they're not going to be too mean, but
I'm telling you, you made it. Once you start getting those thumbs down, like you are it.
Yes. Check mark. That's on my bucket list. Make sure I get those done. So
what are my 2021 goals? I want to get a thumbs down.
Oh, yes, get that thumbs down. I can leave you one, but I'm not. I'm gonna let somebody else. So plug your Monday show.
I'll leave you a thumbs down, but I'll let someone else do it. So it's real.
Yes. Plug your Monday night show. Plug your website. Plug your IG. Plug your Etsy and whatever else you got going on.
Yes. So thanks yes, I do a Monday live on my YouTube every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. It is open to anybody. I love talking and chatting with different people, and I think everyone has value to bring, whether you have 100,000 followers on Instagram or you don't even have social media. I think you definitely have something to bring. We always have lots of really fun conversation. So anyone is welcome on that. Just send me a DM and we'll set up a time. It's always at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. But if I don't have, we'll set up a time that works for both of us on Monday that works for both of us. Sarahstylesllc everywhere. So website is www.sarahstylesllc.com, Etsy, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Poshmark, eBay. That's it. I think that's it.
Okay.
I think that's not enough. And then the dashboards and everything on Etsy. You can purchase the dashboards on Etsy or on my website. Courses are only on my website because you have to like go through there to get them. But everything is 50% off this month. So that goes through the end of the month. If you're watching this after December, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram and I'll send you, if I have a promotion going on, I'll send you whatever code it is for the time period.
Nice. So yes, make sure you guys head over to support, even if you have the nerves and jitters and you're not ready to go on the show, definitely support. She has some awesome people on the show. They're always laughing, always giggling, but you are always learning something. Kind of like this show. We laugh the entire time, but somewhere in there are some nuggets of gold that you can use. So I want to thank you again, Sarah, for coming on the show. If you guys want to find me, of course, I am at SwagSlayer Fashion on IG and YouTube, and then just SwagSlayer on every selling platform. I shouldn't say every, because I learned tonight from Sarah that they're 25 and I'm only on 8. Can you see my fingers? Okay, I'm only on 8. But I am SwagSlayer just on the selling platforms. Don't forget that I'm here every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doing the SwagSlayer Feature Friday. And then if you are a maker for the holiday season, if you craft or you make anything, I will do a feature for you for free on IG and YouTube. It's at 10:30 a.m. You can go over to SwagSlayer.com and book that free feature. There's also a time on Saturday. I just can't remember what it is. I think it's also 10:30, but it's on the calendar. You can find it there just to kind of help drum up some sales and get you more exposure during the holidays, because I know so many things are closed in so many states and you can't go to all the little carnivals and fairs to sell your wares. So connect with me on DM if you can't find it on the website. And then I will talk to you later, Slayers. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.